Tell the truth.
Information is power.
You're listening to the Information Man Show.
I need to tell Unless you talking numbers, we ain't speaking about the right things. Switch up on my nigga for a figure, that's not like me. Baddie with a body in the lobby, she like nice things. She used to know me then, she like me now, that's funny timing. Eyes been on that prize, I cop that cribbo for that timepiece. I'm trying to see the globe and sell out shows until the flight leave. They wanna ride my ties, but they ain't even ride or die, please. But I've been short on time and in the prime of my prime easy. I said I never changed and leveled up, I guess I lied, yeah. Off that strain of potent just to feel like I'm alive, yeah. Mix that with that potion just to feel like I'm that guy, yeah. So know the one you talking to, you way outside your line, yeah. Go against the tribe, you lose your... Let me not even say this. I just ran out of my patience. I just got tired of waiting and got here myself. Want me to believe in the dream that they see for themselves but still doubt in themselves. They might as well light up the L. High top on 10 toe, drip retro. Talking major plays, hella high tech through the getro. Pin game, pin petrol. Just set it in the flesh show. Send a text mail to give a wet clothes. On the vapor wave to make a drip drip with the left lobe in the left stroke.
Tell the truth.
I'ma make plays, I'ma go long. Never look back so long. Yeah. Flex up. Shawty on 10 finna go up. Bring that to the crib, let me show love. Flex up. I'ma make plays, I'ma go long. Never look back so long. I need to flex up. I need to check, yeah. Shawty on 10 finna go up. Bring that to the crib, let me show love. Ayy, come from the pit, I'm out of the trench, my nigga, we look at the dread, my nigga, we ran, she all on my way. I never let them play me, but they claiming.
Please make sure to subscribe to
The lines until I'm goated, I'm going off. Loyal to my soil and the culture, I'm that chosen one. I just got her bag, she wanna I think she know I'm star. I can't do no wrong, look in her eyes, she wouldn't know I'm scarred. They try to justify me going up like they don't know he raw. Off of that dough, just what they told you, I'm never sober. Gripping the split for the chip on my shoulder, trying to decode this. They label me thug, I keep it a buck, I don't give a fuck about it. Out of the mud, they showing me love, my nigga, what's up? Out of my way, bitch, I need the paper. What you want, I mean, I know later. I keep it short with the conversation. Out of my lane, the coupe got a brain in the cockpit with no hands on it. I've been the man with the plan, homie. Flip that to the man with the bands on me and a passport with the stamps on it. Yeah. I'ma make plays, I'ma go long. Never look back so long. Yeah. Shawty on 10 finna go up. Bring that to the crib, let me show love. I'ma make plays, I'ma go long. Never look back so long. I need to flex up. I need to chill, yeah. Shawty on 10 finna go up. Bring that to the crib, let me show love.
Welcome to the Information Man Show. What's up, everybody? Peace. Peace, everybody. Peace, and welcome to the program.
Tell the truth.
And tell the truth. All right, tonight, everybody, this is an impromptu stream. I said I would have time during the week to go live or either put out pre-produced content. But this one, I was going to pre-produce it, but I said, nah, I got to go live with this one because everything that took place today. I hope everybody is doing fine. This is a holiday week. I know a lot of people are probably taking the holidays off, and I hope all of you are doing fine. I mean, it's Things Taken Day. You know, Thanksgiving has the history of it is sort of weird, and I'm going to drop a video just this week to give you a little bit of education about that. But I understand that it is a time for people to come together with their family. And that's really what you should be thankful for, your family, your health. We've gone through a rough couple of years with this virus. Some of us have lost loved ones, all sorts of things. And so give thanks for your life, for the loved ones, people that really matter to you and things of that nature.
Tell the truth.
And we must always tell the truth on that. So what I want to do, I'm going to get ready to go in here and greet people first that have come into the chat room. And then I'm going to go right into this issue related to Ahmaud Arbery. And as always, everybody, do me the biggest favor and share this in your social media, your community tabs, the whole 9 yard. But I want to get into the Ahmaud Arbery. I have the video clip to show you tonight. So this should be something. It should be very interesting tonight. About this. If you don't know, there was some horrible things that were said in that trial today that pissed me off, but it does not surprise me. Okay.
Tell the truth.
But we're going to get into it for a short period of time before I end the stream tonight. Let me just say, Queen, I Know I Am, who's in the house. Thank you for being here. Give you a clap. Chris CC's is in the house. Over 50 and Fabulous is in the house. Appreciate that. We have Sister Murray is in the house tonight. Yvette is in the house tonight. Susan Brandley is in the house tonight. Thank you. Earl Owens is in the house tonight. Clap to everybody that's in the house. Maurice is in the house. Maurice is in the house tonight. What's up? We got the Macon Report is coming to the house, and I appreciate you coming over and joining us. I'm going to be brief and to the point tonight because I know it's late for people. We got TC is in the house, HBC Queen. Give her a clap. All right. We got Houston Breed is in the house. If I don't know if I'm saying that correct. House or Houston Breed is in the house. We got CZ Girl in the house. Thank you for being here, coming in. I'm looking at people coming in. We got It's All Hot Air is here. Thank you. Tell
the truth.
The truth. Live on YouTube. We're broadcasting, multi-broadcasting into Facebook tonight, as well as Twitch is working tonight. Okay. And Facebook. And I got people who watch me primarily on the Facebook side of things. And that's fantastic. Thank you to all of you out there watching in those other streams. And we got, who else do we have that's just coming to the stream tonight? So that's what we've got. I didn't expect a lot of people. It's late for some people. Some people got work. Some people have taken a day off. Some people are relaxing. But I want to get into this Ahmaud Arbery and the case. We just had, we had the Kyle Rittenhouse case, and he got off on self-defense. And I kind of wish that the same type of justice would have been given to one Trayvon Martin when he had a non-police officer, a civilian acting as if he was a guard of a community, who the young man had no gun and was fighting him and getting the best of him in that fight. And then he pulled out a gun and shot him because Florida has stand your own ground laws, but nobody cared about Trayvon Martin's stand your own ground. He was a minor defending himself, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, except he didn't have a gun, and yet he got no justice. And we got George Zimmerman walking around here today. Ahmaud Arbery, what did they do? They did the same thing that they're doing to Ahmaud Arbery right now. They dirtied up Trayvon Martin's background by saying, oh, he smoked weed, he did this and that. Now they're trying to dirty up Ahmaud Arbery's background. And then they had the nerve in court today to say he was running, or he was jogging, running with dirty, short khaki pants, no socks. And he had long, dirty nails. What the hell, ladies and gentlemen, what the hell does that have to do with whether he went to that neighborhood and robbed anybody's house of their property? When they found him jogging in the neighborhood. Did he have anything on him? Did he have a television? Did he have any valuables on him? Before the Yahoos, that's right, before the Yahoos drove up on him like they back in the 1800s, everything about it was reminiscent to what they would do to black people in Mississippi, the South, where they would track you down with their shotguns. While Travis McMichael is saying that he was trying to defend himself. See, that's going to be the new thing now for these yahoos out here. Their new thing is going to be, I was defending myself. See, when we say we're defending ourselves, it don't work for us. When they say they're defending themselves, it worked for them. Because why is it that Ahmaud Arbery could not be defending himself? Quite naturally, he didn't have a weapon of any kind. He had no gun, no pistol. Matter of fact, when they asked Travis McMichael, did Aubry have a weapon? He said no. Did he have a knife? No, he didn't have a knife. He posed no threat with a weapon. They came running. They came rolling down on him. And of course, that guy, Brian or whatever his name, he's trying to get off. He's trying to get off because he's saying, well, I just happened to take the footage. And if he hadn't took the footage, we wouldn't have known. Nah, he's just trying to get out of it. The bottom line is they had no business tracking the young man down like they did. He had nothing on him. Now, they said they were making a citizen's arrest. And if you've been following the case, there is no evidence that they said that they made a citizen's arrest. There's no evidence to the contrary, because it was never reported that they said we're making a citizen's arrest. Now, of course, in the trial today, they said you don't have to say that. Let me break something down to y'all. Let me just break something down. And peace to everybody. And I thank Lady Justice. Thank you for giving me the super chat. She says, talking about him like he was, like an animal. He was shattered like shattered slavery. They said in that court, and I'm going to show you the clip, his dirty, long, dirty. What does long, dirty nails, toenails, if he had them, what does that got to do with what they did to him? Now, I meant to put this up on my screen, but I forgot to set it up like that. So let me read something to you all. This is the law in Georgia. This is Georgia law, ladies and gentlemen. 17460, grounds for arrest. And this is what the prosecution asked these idiots when they claim that they were making a citizen's arrest. Well, this is what you have to do to be able to make a citizen's arrest. You got to actually catch them in the act, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell the truth.
Grounds for arrest in Georgia. A private citizen may arrest an offender if the offender is committed in his presence. So if the defendant is in the act of the crime, then you have the right to commit or to engage. Let me correct my language here. Then you have the right to engage in a citizen's arrest. Grounds for arrest. A private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge, if the offense is a felony, and if the offender is escaping or attempting to escape. A private person may arrest upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. Now, you would say, well, maybe now the Yahoos would say, well, that's what they were doing. No, the key word here is arrest or offended if the offense is committed in their presence when they can see it. So if they would have saw Ahmaud Arbery coming out of the house that was not his property with goods in his hands, and then he took off running when he spotted them, they would have been well within their right to stop him. Not kill him, but stop him. They simply saw him running down the road, and they went on the rumors that there was burglaries happening in this community. And so they went on that tip and rode down that road like it was the 1800s, where they were going after a runaway slave. And then you got this defense lawyer in court today saying that they don't want, saying that one, they didn't want, let me just say this, one, they didn't want any preachers in the courtroom. This is where the racism starts. So Ahmaud Arbery has been made to be the scapegoat. He's once again, when it comes to black people, when it comes to the law and us defending ourselves against creeps chasing us down a road when we were jogging, we get no justice unless you got the right complexion for the protection. Old Kyle Rittenhouse got justice for defending himself with a weapon and killed 2 people, whether you feel that their characters are despicable or not. He still killed 2 people. Ahmaud Arbery was shot 3 times. Boom, boom, boom. And in his death, they're trying to muddy him up, dirty him up. Oh, he's got long, dirty nails.
Tell the truth.
This is the difference in justice. And then people want to ask black people why we got the attitude that we have, why we feel the way we feel about this injustice system. They want to tell you today in that trial, oh, racism had nothing to do with it. This is not a racial situation. Yes, it is. Race always matters in America. America was built on race. It always matters. Anybody that tell you that, they're a damn fool. It always matters. It always has. That's why they had people segregated. That's why they did everything to redline our people. Everything. Historically. So now, Ahmaud Arbery, they're trying to tell you in this case today that Ahmaud Arbery is his own blame for being shot 3 times when 2 creepy dudes, 2 creepy yahoos go driving down the road, pull out a weapon. He's defending himself. Where is the defense for him? No, they tell you that it was his fault and that he's got long, dirty toenails, as if that had anything to do with why he was shot. And just like the prosecution said, they didn't feel that this black man had any business in the neighborhood. Blame it on black people. You can't drive while black, walking while black, eating ice cream in your home while black. You can't do anything while you are black.
Tell the truth.
At least when people want to assume you did crime. Now, the owner of that property said that there were all kind of people walking into that property looking at it. There was even a white couple. Did they chase down that white couple? And even if Ahmaud Arbery was inside that house as it was being built and he went in there and took a look, and then after he took a look, he went jogging down the road, they didn't have any evidence that he did any crime. That everybody in the chat room, that they find any evidence of his crime, meaning did he find any property? Did they find any belongings that belong to the property owner? No. They even asked the property owner in court, was there anything missing out of the house? And he said he couldn't recollect that there was something missing. The whole thing is bullshit, ladies and gentlemen. And now they want to get up here and play these racial games. And then you got folks talking about, well, why y'all want to talk about the race? Well, we didn't talk about it. They brought the race into it. They brought the stereotypes into it when they start talking about the man's body hygiene. And then I want to know this. How does the defense team know that Ahmaud Arbery has long nails and dirty, long toenails? That they look at his body? Did they have a chance to look at his body in the morgue? And this is another thing that shows you that they have no reverence. The mother was in the courtroom when they said that, and as was reported today, the family had to walk out in disgust. They were disgusted by what they were hearing. It was disgusting. It was bull crap. Now, let me show you something before I get to that video in question. And I want to thank everybody in the chat room. I want to give you all a clap. All of you are the best. Let me go over here. And so here is Ahmaud Arbery, of course, on the screen. It's a damn shame what happened to that young man. They had the nerve to say in court today that he was a young man and he didn't, he might have been promising. His life was promising, but then he made these problems for himself because he was a frequent intruder in the neighborhood. Yet, can they tell me where is the merchandise that he stole? Where are the cameras that catch Ahmaud Arbery red-handed?
Tell the truth.
They have shown no cameras in court to show where he has been red-handed whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, this is crazy. Now remember, they said they didn't want any black pastors in the court. So they talked about Jesse Jackson. No, they talked about Reverend Sharpton. They said, okay, Reverend Sharpton came into court. That's one too many black preachers. We don't want black preachers in here. So y'all had Reverend Sharpton, and now y'all go bringing in Jesse Jackson. We don't want that either. Oh no. Oh, wait a minute. Who do I have up here? Oh, no. We're not talking about Uncle Jesse. That's Jesse Lee Peterson, who's a buck dancer, a sellout, and a butter biscuit eater. No. We're not talking about him. That's the wrong picture. We're talking about Jesse Jackson. We don't want any black preachers in here.
Obviously, there's only so many pastors they can have. And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine. But then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here or other. Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, the jury in this case.
Isn't that something? They didn't want any black pastors in there. So they talked about Jesse Jackson. We don't want him in there. Yet, legally, the courtroom is a public place. So as many pastors that wanted to come in there and console the family as possible, they had every right to do so. But they tried to make it a joke. We don't want any black pastors in here, right? So they didn't want Al Sharpton in there, and they didn't want Jesse Jackson in there. They didn't have no problem. Who they probably would have liked to have seen in that court would be the buck dancer himself, and that's Jesse Lee Peterson. Go, Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson, ladies and gentlemen, is the same sellout dude who got up there with Rashad Ritchie talking about he's the inventor of White History Month. And he chose, I believe, June because it seemed like a white month. It seemed free, and it seemed, this is Jesse Lee Peterson. They would have loved to have had him in the court. And I believe Jesse Lee Peterson believes that Ahmaud Arbery got what he got as well. He's of the same type of thinking. Right? Now, Kyle Rittenhouse was in court crying like a baby. And everybody seemed to console his crying. Everybody seemed to say, that's Kyle went through a lot out there. He's a American hero. Let's console Kyle. Well, why is it that when it comes to Ahmaud Arbery, who's not even alive, he can't even have the black preachers come in and console him, whether you like him or not? Why doesn't the family have the right to their consoling? Just like you had everybody out there talking about, they're a boy, Kyle. Kyle's a hero now. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I was listening to a sister that I know on Facebook who's a judge, and she brought up some laws that confirmed that Kyle Rittenhouse had no business. He should have gotten some charges for having that gun as an underage kid. But the problem is he had a judge that took him in his warm bosom. And he also had the right complexion for the protection, baby. And you got to believe that, because black men in the legal system, when we defend ourselves, when we're fighting to protect ourselves, we don't get the benefit of the goddamn doubt, even when we're doing it under the law. And that's truth.
Tell the truth.
OK, and the reason why I bring this up is because there's always the double standard. But Ahmaud Arbery in death is being disrespected. He's being told that he has dirty toes. He's being blamed because he wore long khakis. The man was jogging. He's being blamed because he might have had long toenails with dirt. And the question is, how does a defense lawyer even know that? Who gave them the right to look at his body at the morgue or wherever they have his body being? Who gave them the right? Is this some made up bullshit by the defense team to try to like turn the narrative around? I like to know. I'm sure you would like to know. Definitely subscribe to the program. I'm sure you would all like to know that too. Appreciate that. And definitely share the video. So let's go right ahead and go into the video in question. As I want to thank TC that's in the house. Miss Murray's in the house. We got Victory Begins in the Garden is in the house. Thank you here. Lady Justice says we also don't have. Let me read some of your statements before I go into the video in question. Lady Justice says we also don't have doves of wealth donors building defense funds for us. Yeah. Where's we don't have any defense fund. Yeah, that's right. We don't have doves of money. But what that shows is that in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse, he had a community that supported him. Why can't we support each other? Our own, when we get in trouble and we've been wrongly accused of something, black people, we should have a fund. We should have a legal system that we can pay into that any of us can benefit from. I think I heard someone talk about this one time, that if black people monthly gave just a little bit of money into a legal system, that when we got into some trouble, into some BS, that we could tap into that fund and it could be something that everybody could tap into. Because not everybody's got the money for these expensive lawyers, unless you know what's crazy about this? It seems like black people, we don't get a high powered lawyer to defend us, or a large legal team, unless we're rich like OJ was. And that's truth.
Tell the truth.
Or if we're unfortunately dead, meaning we were killed, and then we become a big symbol or big issue on the news and in the community, and big droves of people want to support. And then all of a sudden you get somebody like Benny Crump, and you get the Jesse Jacksons of the world, right? Who will come out and speak up and give us some support. And then it galvanizes us on the news. And then all of a sudden we might have Black Lives Matter or somebody like that get out there and try to protect us. If we don't become a deceased person, or we're not a very rich person, there's very little justice for the average black person in America. And that's truth.
Tell the truth.
Very little justice to no justice, ladies and gentlemen. So that's a very good point that you bring up there. We got my man Sir in the house saying what's up, saying peace. Thank you for being here. Earl Owen says this: I would not count on the NAACP. Interesting. We got the House of Entertainment Incorporated. Make sure y'all check them out. Good brothers over there. They have a very good show. TC says, who was Aubry's girlfriend? I have no idea And if you know that, drop that information in the chat room. I've never researched into his personal life like that. They've never given us that type of background. I think the prosecution, if they haven't already done this, they need to paint him as human, as someone that was a real person, because that's what they said about Kyle Rittenhouse when he got up there and started crying like a baby. They said that was good for the defense team because it made Kyle look human, right? It made him look human and not like necessarily a monster. So this is what they said, right? Okay, back up to me. So I think telling a story about a person and making them human is very important. But then Ahmaud Arbery is not alive to be able to tell his story about what these yahoos did to him. We got Kiki, who's come in the house. Thank you for being here. We've got Queen I Know I Am, who's in the house rocking with us tonight. I'm not going to keep you guys all night long. And then, of course, there was a troll that came in here, I guess, and y'all had to get them out of here. Wellness with Frugal Mama's in the house. Thank you for being here. And we got my man Keith in the house. Thank you for being here as well. I didn't expect a lot of people at this time of the night. Usually I stream. I get better numbers when I stream earlier on the weekends and things of that nature. But I had to do this one. I was going to upload it as a pre-produced video, as a premiere video, but I had to do this live and get it out there. I just want to appreciate everybody that's here tonight rocking with me and rocking with everybody in that chat room, because we're a family over here and that's what it's all about. Natural's coming in the house. Thank you for being here, Natural. Let me see what Queen I Know I Am is saying. She says, if a not guilty verdict is the outcome in the case, we have to get up and stand up and demand justice. Yeah, we have to get up and stand up. I think that I don't want to predict this, but I think if this verdict goes against the family of Ahmaud Arbery, his mother and father, I don't want to see bad things happen in the street. But let me just say, I'm not going to be surprised if there's potential, because they shot this they took this young man's life with a gun, with 3 shots, with no reverence for him as a human, because they, in their mind, thought that they were protecting the community, because they thought that he was a criminal stealing from the community. And even if you had to fight for your life, why would you do it by taking a man's life with a gun? Why couldn't you put a fist fight up, right? It shows you what a coward Travis McMichael is. It shows you what a coward his father is. And even the guy who took the footage was a coward too. Because you never heard him on the footage say to those guys, stop. He wants to act like he was a good Samaritan now by saying, well, I had this footage that broke the case wide open. You never heard him say why he was filming that. You guys stop what you're doing. Don't do that. Don't put a gun on the young man. Don't. If you're going to take him in, but don't take his life with the gun. You never heard him yell and say, why'd y'all shoot him? You never heard him say that on that video while he's trying to play good Samaritan in court right now. Let me go ahead and play the video in question. How you doing, Peggy Roster? And everybody in the chat room, good to see you all here. Let me take this off the screen and show the video right now. Let's get to it. All right, something's malfunctioning. This is what I'm going to do. Let me take this off of here. Remove that from the studio. Let me upload this one more time. And if this doesn't work, then I'm going to go to my backup plan, which I've already got set up. Hopefully, you all will be able to see this. And we're going to put it up here in just a moment. If not, I'll go with the backup plan and let you see here. And here we go.
Instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. But a mother's love doesn't fade from that beautiful boy in the ball cap to the young intruder. And sadly, no verdict can change the grief of that future not realized. The hope that he could have turned himself around. Because all we can guess about the young man is that his teenage years were full of promise, but his early 20s just led him in the wrong direction. The facts presented in this trial bear no resemblance to the story that the state told you in opening statement. A 25-year-old who met a brutal death after being chased and killed by residents of a neighborhood who wanted nothing more than to murder him for having the audacity to jog in their neighborhood. Not a single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices
You hear this
that
bullshit?
he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
You could tell in the courtroom that people were shocked by what she said. You can hear a little sound in the back. I'm going to move it right back up to that point when she said that again. Let me just say this too. The defense team had the audacity. Hopefully I can bring myself up and come right back to that. The defense team had the audacity to say that there was no evidence that Ahmaud Arbery was a regular jogger in the neighborhood. Does that really matter? Let's say there's been plenty of times when I've been out and I've discovered areas where there's parks and I say, wow, that's a cool park. I never saw this area. I want to go and check that park out. I want to go take a walk at that park. I discover things where I live at all the time that I've never been, where people probably have never seen me when I've discovered a beautiful park or a beautiful place where you can go chill and relax. You discover things all the time when you go out and about in communities. And so let's say you discover a place that you've never seen before that's beautiful and you want to go take a jog or a walk in the park there or walk in that neighborhood like anybody, not because you want to rob the place. And of course, there's going to be people there that may never seen you before. So is Ahmaud Arbery guilty of being shot 3 times because he discovered a neighborhood that maybe he had never jogged in before, or maybe he has jogged in before? Who knows? But that's not the reason to take a man's life. And him having dirty, according to the defense team, which could be their lies that they're making up, he had dirty nails. Is that the reason why he should be taken out of here? What kind of world are we living in here with this type of bull crap? Let's hear this again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's analyze this.
Circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim.
Into a victim.
The choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores.
Wow.
In his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Wow. Long, dirty toenails. Wow.
There were 2
I want y'all to hear this again for the effect of it all. For the effect of it all. We need to hear this as a community because here we are in the 21st century. This defense lawyer, I know she's doing this to make Aubry look like a monster for the purpose of the all white jury. I think the jury is like what, 11 white people and one unknown person of color. I don't know if anybody knows who that person of color is in that courtroom. Let it be known in the chat room. We've got Peggy Roster in the house. We've got King Wage in the house. Let me look at the camera. Let me look at y'all. We got King Wage in the house. We got Golden Melanin in the house. The Sleazy Girl, Over 50 and Fabulous, Back to the Basics. We got Beverly Palmer is in the house. Thank you for being here. Golden Melanin, King Wage. Oh, Tawana is in the house. Tawana, oh, I've been so busy, sister. I meant to connect with you. I was going to call you so that we can work on our next show on your channel, because I know it's a lot of juicy stuff going on out there in the celebrity world. We're going to do that show on your channel. It's coming. I'll contact you tomorrow. I'm off this whole week. So you said that you told me the good times that are good for you. And I'll be in contact with you tomorrow at a more decent time so we can square away the show that we're going to do on your channel. And hopefully I can get all the good folks over here to come on over. And so I see, let me see, who do I see? I see Kim Savvy, $5, Bling Emporium. Check her channel out. She has very beautiful ladies jewelry and various fixtures that you like as accessories to go with your clothes. And she presents it on her channel just like you see professional channels do this on, like QBC. She presents it where she puts the items there and gives you the price. Very nice items that she has there. We got DC, the Purple Diva is in the house. Thank you for being here. And she said, no problem. We got, let me see what Susan is saying up here before I go back to this. This is some crazy stuff, y'all. Okay, let me put this on the screen here. We got, Aubry was apparently in there several times. Maybe he was interested in how they were building the property. I do that. I'm curious about all kinds of weird things. Okay, let me just say this to you. All of us have probably noticed construction either in our neighborhood. I noticed when I was growing up, even as an adult, you notice a construction and you're curious. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm going to go up in something, but everybody has stopped and looked at construction. Everybody in their neighborhood, when there's a house being built in a skeleton fashion, I'm sure there's tons of people who have walked and taken a look. That doesn't mean that they're supposed to be in there and they should be in there. It's just that everybody has taken a look at property like this. The man who owned the house that they're claiming that Ahmaud Arbery robbed said that he had video cameras up and there were several different people that were looking at the property, not just Ahmaud Arbery, if you're going to claim that he looked at it. But the thing that's crazy, if he even did, because they've never proven in court that the one video footage of a black male who walked into it, it's never been proven in court so far that that was Ahmaud Arbery. But then again, they think we all look alike, right? They think we all look alike. That hasn't been proven out. As far as I know, maybe someone in the chat room has further details. Has not been proven out. Is it wrong to go into property and trespass where you don't belong? Yes, it is. And people do it every day. But this is the question. The owner of the property could not recall whether something was stolen. So if the property owner can't recall anything stolen, therefore, where is the evidence that Ahmaud Arbery stole anything in the first place? And he damn sure didn't have anything that proved that he stole something from the property when those two yahoos, particularly Travis McMichael, shot him 3 times. And that's the truth.
Tell the truth.
And took his life. And tell me where in law that a man cannot defend himself when somebody is pointing a gun at him trying to take his life. Certainly if Travis McMichael is saying he was defending himself, then why is it that just like Trayvon Martin against George Zimmerman, why is it that Ahmaud Arbery could not be in the midst of defending himself? Once again, another black man who's taken out of here. No reverence to him defending himself. And then they do this all the time when it comes to black folks. They try to muddy up our image and make us sinister. And they're doing what they're doing because they got mostly an all white jury of people who probably don't know nothing about black folks, probably don't have any understanding of who we are, probably believe everything that they read and see on media, that we're monsters and gruesome and we're there to terrorize you. Every stereotype in the book. And that's why the defense team said what they said, to dirty it all up and to remind the white folks on that jury that we're dealing with a N here. We're dealing with one of these ends here. Listen to this.
The reality.
It's a dog whistle, folks.
Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
You could hear someone say wow in there. You can clearly hear someone say wow when she said that. We're going to hear it again. I'm doing this for you. We have to listen to this because it tells you everything about this community, the mindset of the defense team. This lawyer didn't say that without having an understanding of that community and the mindset of the jury pool. That's something that they would bite on and could bite on. She gave them red meat to bite on because they already think that black males are the boogie man. They already think that we are something to be afraid of. They already see us as that creepy boogeyman, like zombies like this. You see those zombie hands? And remember the origins of zombie movies. Back in the day, zombies were always depicted as black people. You see the psychology of American society? The zombie movies that they used to have back in the day. We know there was the famous zombie picture that had a lot of white folks that were zombies, but originally the idea of a zombie was something that was labeled on black people by white society. So when you look at these zombie movies, there's a deeper message in the zombie movies. In the zombie movies, what do? Take them out, kill them, shoot them in the head, discard them. Well, it's not that far-fetched when it comes to black people and how we're seen as something that you can throw away, discard, shoot. We've got no rights that should be recognized, even though we're in American society. And the judicial system doesn't work for us normally unless we got a lot of money like OJ had, or we're already dead. And then we have to have some high-powered preacher or lawyer like the dear great Johnny Cochran to get us off. No, to get our family and mothers and brothers and sisters justice, because we're already out. We're not alive. So when you look at these zombie movies and how we depict it, and the zombies originally were always depicted as darker skin, just like those hands, those creepy hands that you see surrounding me right there. This is a depiction. Let's go back to this. Let's go back and hear this again. I'm repeating this over and over again because this was some effery at the highest level.
A victim, after the choices that he made, does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts
DOD, what's
no
up, brother?
Socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
I'm playing that again. I don't care. This is how they, when you listen to this trial, this portion of the trial, because tomorrow is going to be the rebuttal for the prosecution is going to chew on what this woman said. I hope they do. And they're going to do a comeback in their rebuttal to the bullshit that they said in this trial today. But the reason why I'm playing this over and over again for y'all in that chat room and everybody listening, because the words that she's saying is not only about Aubry, but in a funny way, not really a funny way, but in a real way, in this community, that's what they think of black folks. That's what they think of us. They see us the same way. That's why that's why we often don't get justice, because that's how we are exactly seen. And like I said, when they put juries together, ladies and gentlemen, they have jury consultants and they handpick who they think would be a better juror to be on that pool. She said what she said, and she said it without any fear in this courtroom, because she knows the audience that she's playing to. She knows the audience that she's talking to. What's going on, Greg Harris, who says, I think about that prosecution. Let me see what Greg Harris is saying. Damn it, the chat just moved and I wanted to read what the brother was saying. I'm going to put it up here. I think about that prosecution did not even object to that full statement. They will get off, the fix is in. Yeah, the prosecution, I think the way it's set, I think what it is, Gregory Harris, is that when you do closing, and I think the Empower Esquire would know this as a lawyer, when you do closing statements, that's not a time that the prosecution or the defense can try to overrule it. They can't. It's called a closing statement. So either defense lawyers and prosecutors, they can't step in the middle of a person's closing statements, because the closing statements is supposed to be summing up the case after you've already did all your cross-examination, your discovery. So really, either one can start rebutting what one is saying. So like tomorrow, when the prosecution gets up there and does their rebuttal to this bull crap here, the defense team can't get up in the middle of their, because it's not a cross-examination. They can't get up in the middle of their closing and say, we reject to what they just said. You can't do that. That's not the way that portion of the proceedings operate. So that's probably why they didn't say anything, brother. Let's hear this again.
Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. There were two sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichael's decisions that led to this tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to hear this one more time.
Single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. There were two sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichael's decisions that led to this tragedy.
Obviously,
And it
there's only so
is
many pastors they can have.
tragedy.
And if their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine. But then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, the jury in this case.
Tell me that that's not racism in this trial. That's not embedded, and it's coming from the defense team.
Obviously, there's only so many pastors they can have. And
Play
if
this again.
Their pastor's Al Sharpton right now, that's fine. But then that's it. We don't want any more black pastors coming in here, or other Jesse Jackson, whoever was in here earlier this week, sitting with the victim's family, the jury in this case.
All right, let me ask everybody in the chat room. Did you hear the judge, the one that was treating Kyle Rittenhouse as if he was his grandfather? Did anybody in that crowd tell Kyle Rittenhouse family how many supporters could they have? Right? You had people in conservative media, the Tucker Carlsons of the world, all these other, all these old knuckleheads. You had all these folks in the conservative right media or propaganda media. You had all of them talking up Kyle. Did anybody in the courtroom say, we don't want all this support for Kyle? You can't have all this support for him. We can't have all these supporters coming around. I want to play something else for you. Did they say anything about what support Kyle couldn't have in his case when he was in there crying like a baby? I want to play something for y'all too. Hopefully I can find this very quickly. Give me 1 minute. And while I find it, let me play something for your listening pleasure.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Definitely needs the support. Definitely appreciate your support. Now, I want to play an audio for you that's going to blow your socks off. Remember, I think I said in the other video that I did, I went off in the other video about the difference. I think it was the one I did about Kyle Rittenhouse, how there's a difference in how black people get treated when we're armed with our weapons. Well, outside the courtroom in Georgia out there, where they're holding the Ahmaud Arbery trial, you've got the new Black Panther Party out there, and they are bearing their arms, which they have the right to do so. And you already have in this court case where they're saying, hey, we want a mistrial because we got black people outside that are armed. You never hear them say a damn thing. And I said it. You never hear them say a damn thing when white folks are armed to the T with their weapons. They'll say, these yahoos will tell you, we got the right to bear arms. It's the Second Amendment.
Tell the truth.
You can't take our guns away from us. Well, as soon as black people show the same ability, now all of a sudden they want to muddy the waters. Listen to this audio right here. And here we go.
Inflamed by Kevin Goff, the attorney for William Bryant. Goff tried several times to get the black pastors showing up to support Aubrey's mother kicked out of court.
We don't want any more black pastors coming in here.
As the attorneys broke for lunch during closing arguments today, some found themselves face to face with protesters, some armed to the hilt, prompting Attorney Goff to call for a mistrial.
I agree with the concern that is out there with regard to the jurors having exposure to anything that may be going on outside. Whatever may be going on outside, it has not been brought to my attention on a security level.
Let me say this here. There's been no violence outside of the courtroom. There's been no trouble, people arrested. Now, in the Kyle Rittenhouse situation, you had Brother Blake, Jacob Blake's father out there, or uncle. I believe it was his uncle. I don't know. I don't think it was his father. I think it was his uncle or some family member was out there making sure people don't forget that this all happened because his son was shot in the back 7 times. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, whether Jacob Blake was reaching for a knife as they're trying to claim or whatever the domestic issues that were going on, don't nobody deserve to get shot in the back 7 times. Too often that happens to us, whether we're guilty of something or not. Now, you had all types of elements outside of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. People were out there protesting, getting in people's faces, talking all type of smack. And I didn't hear anybody in that courtroom, that judge who was treating Kyle like it was his damn son. You didn't hear anybody say anything about, we're concerned about the commotion and the people getting in people's faces out there and the potential for violence. Even though after the verdict went down, there was no violence out there. Thank God for that. But now here you have black people who have the right to bear arms in Georgia, who have their guns legally and were of age, unlike Kyle Rittenhouse. And now the defense team is saying, Judge, we want a mistrial because we think it's going to be intimidating to the jury. Yet there's been nothing. There's been no threats on the jury. There's been no fights outside of the courtroom. There's been no anarchy whatsoever. And the new Black Panther Party with their arms have shot nobody, have done no harm to nobody. And you can hear the judge at the end of that audio that I played talking about, well, you know, I don't know if there's things going on outside. The fact that they even have to discuss that when there's been no incidents that have happened. See, I'm going to say it like I said on my Kyle Rittenhouse video. When black people get armed and learn how to use our weapons and get armed legally, white folks get scared. When black folks are unprepared and we acting scared, white folks like it like that. They like it when they are on top. See, what's the old saying? It's not very fun when the rabbits got the gun. That's just the truth. I know some folks out there don't like it. They don't like truth.
Tell the truth.
So they run away from it and want to push lies. Everybody, I thank you for being here with me tonight. Once again, you heard it for yourself. You heard it for yourself today. You heard it on my program. And I'm giving, and see, what's different is this is the thing. People always say, well, why are you playing this when people already heard it? Because nobody in mainstream news is going to give you this perspective that I'm giving you. This is why social media is important, because what they did was racism. It was stink and prejudice, and it was stink and stereotyping. The young man is not even alive, and she's talking about his toes. And she did it to a jury that's primed for it. She knew her audience and knew that she could say that and that it possibly could resonate with that jury, because it ain't a jury of Ahmaud Arbery's peers at all.
Tell the truth.
That community ain't even right. This goes all the way back to that district attorney Jackie in the BS that she was doing. Everything about that police department in that community, everything about that county don't smell right.
Tell the truth.
I want to say to Keedy G, thank you for being here. DOD, thank you for being here. Queen I Know I Am. Let me read a couple of messages before I end this. Queen I Know I Am says this: if I was that lone black jury, I would be anxiously waiting to hang the jury verdict. Interesting. All right. Let me see what Chris CC is saying. What's up to everybody? CCNTV, welcome here. If you're in here, brother, let me see where you are. Welcome. Thank you. Things are malfunctioning a little bit. I noticed probably my something's malfunctioning, and I don't know. I gotta figure it out. So, we got the Black Votron is in the house. I'll just read what people are saying because this thing is fading in and out. I don't know if you see it like that, but I see it like that. We got Lady. Let me see. Lady Ned is in the house. Queen I Know I Am. Peggy Roster. Back to the Basics. Sister Beverly's in the house. It's Surge Girl 12 is in the house. DOD. Net A is in the house. Money Boy's in the house. What's up, Money Boy? I noticed you've been coming over to the channel, and every time I keep missing seeing you so I could shout you out. But Money Boy, what's going on? Glad you came over to check out the program tonight. Just an impromptu video pop-up show tonight about the Ahmaud Arbery situation. Real nasty what they said about the young man, and he ain't even alive to speak up for himself. And the mother and the family, they walked out of there in disgust. Just a terrible situation. The way they go about bumping their gums about us. It's just terrible. And let me see what Tawana is saying. She says, I let them dehumanize my son. She says, I let them dehumanize my son. Ahmad mother speaks up. Yeah. So what she has here is a link. And I'm going to click into that link myself as well. So she has a link where the mother is speaking up. And maybe I can, you know what? I can plug what she's saying into the stream right now. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can play the video. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play the video so everybody can hear it. Thank you, Sister Tawana, for putting it in there. I'm going to play the video so y'all can hear it. Let me play this. Hang on. It's coming up. Hang on. Give it a minute. It's loading up. I want to make sure I don't see. It's got a little commercial. Hang on, folks. We're going to hear what Ahmaud Arbery's mother is saying. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I didn't get a chance to get this audio clipped up, but it's going to be playing for you in just a moment.
Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Cooper Jones, joins us now along with her attorney, Lee Merritt. Ms. Cooper Jones, I thank you once again.
If you can hear, press the one in the chat room.
I've heard defense lawyers, prosecutors over the last several hours say it was just out of line what the defense attorney said about your son, the quote, long, dirty toenails. For you as a mother, it prompted you to get up and leave the courtroom. What was going through your head?
Thanks for having me as well. It was very, very disturbing. I thought it was very, very rude to talk about his long, dirty toenails and to totally neglect that my son had a huge hole in his chest when he shot with that shotgun. She chose not to recognize that gunshot wound, but pay attention to his long toenails.
Why'd you get up and go?
I was afraid that I just was afraid. I sat there for the last 2 weeks and let them dehumanize my son, who wasn't doing anything wrong the day that he chose to go for that afternoon job. And after he's deceased, they go as far as describing his toenails as being long and dirty, despite, like I said earlier, that my son had a huge hole in his chest where he was shot with that shotgun. Very disrespectful.
Why do you think they're doing that?
I think that the defense is doing that because they know they don't have the proper evidence to get a conviction. So they're actually going to any measures to get a conviction, which is not there for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it for yourself. You heard his mother. You heard the mother Thank you, Tawana. That was a Jew that you dropped in the chat room, and luckily, I have the kind of system that I could pipe it right on in the actual video right into the system through audio means. I'm thinking about dropping a link to bring people upstairs to talk a little bit about this. I know it's getting late. What's going on, Sister Courtney? The SLP, thank you for coming over. Black Voltron, let me say this. See what he's saying right here. Copyright declare under section. Yeah, thank you, brother, for putting that in the chat room like that. Definitely. That's, when it comes to news programs like that, you won't get any copyright infringement because news is kind of like an open to everyone. It's open to you to critique it. So because we're critiquing this whole situation, it won't impact any kind of copyright situation. It's a damn shame. Man, to hear that, what the mother said, man, is powerful. It's really a shame. Boy. Let me, I'm going to drop a link. I'm not going to stay up here long just to see if anybody has anything that they want to add. And if not, I'll end the program, but I want to thank everybody with a clap for joining me tonight in this impromptu video surprise tonight. And I just wanted to, this was more of getting something off my chest that angered me as well. A lot of times they say, you don't want to operate off of emotions, but it angered me. It didn't surprise me, but it still angered me because it just shows you that nothing's really changed. America is still the America that it's always been. And justice is dealt with differently when it comes to our people. It is handed out differently. This is why this woman could say what she said again.
I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine.
This is why she could say this again.
Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Stop right there. Back up. I'm emphasizing it because it's the bullshit, folks. I just put a link in the chat room. So if anybody would like to come up and render their thoughts about this particular situation, you're more than welcome to do so. However, just so you know, we will not be a long session. I'm going to end this pretty soon, but I do want to give people who would like to come up, render some thoughts as to what they've heard and what they've heard about this today. We heard by way of Tawana, who is a mod in the chat room, should be a mod, who sent a clip of what the mother had to say about this bull crap today, which added flavor to the program. Come on upstairs and give your opinion as we get ready to go to a conclusion here. And then thank you. And so there we have it. K Money is here. Thank you. Glad you're here, sister.
Thank you so much.
I would like to know, first of all, let me ask you this personal question. Mm-hmm. And I really would like the ladies to come up too, because are you a mother?
I'm not a mother, but I'll tell you this. I've been following this case from a week after he got shot, and nobody did nothing about it.
Yes.
Nobody did nothing. Now, I want y'all to realize something.
Mm-hmm.
What I am friends with Wanda, his mother. I'll tell you this. What the police told his mother, okay, was that he was stealing. That's why they murdered him. And when we got a hold of the video showing that these men hunted him down, chased him down, and killed him like they did, we released the video. Okay? They released it first and took it right up, and then we released it. Okay, that's when it went viral and everybody saw it, but they still didn't do anything for months.
Okay.
That's terrible. Now it's
right,
fine.
because
Now,
if I'm not mistaken, K Money, is it true? Because we heard this in the media, or we heard that it was 3 months that these men were walking around freely moving around. It was like 3 months, right?
3 months.
And then, of course, we have the corrupt district attorney, Jackie. Is that correct?
Yes.
Who was sort of playing footsie friendly with Gregory McMichaels because he was a retired police officer. There was some type of friendly, good old boys network in this area, right?
Greg McMichaels worked for her at one point.
See?
Okay. They covered up from day one. They didn't treat him like he was they treated them like they were heroes for shooting down a black man. That was not
like we back in the like we back in 1800s or something, you know, and like we in slavery time.
Right. If you need footage, my brother, hit me up. I have it all from day one.
Yeah, I did some early videos, and I have a little footage myself, and I definitely will hit you up. The thing that bothers me is that, let me ask this question to anybody. How would the defense teams, I'm just asking this question, how would that defense lawyer know what his toes look like? Do they just let the defense team look at a deceased body?
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. The defense gets to look at everything that the state gets to look at. So all autopsy reports, photographs, and everything. The fact that that was even mentioned, it goes to the whole narrative that the black man is the boogeyman and how monstrous we are. So that all played into getting into these people's heads, who a lot of them, I'm sure, feel that way anyway. But it was just disgusting. Like it was a real low, unnecessary comment. But
now, let me ask you, everybody on the panel and everyone listening, because I made this statement repeatedly. The makeup of the jury, or the jurors, if I'm saying it correctly, don't really reflect Ahmaud Arbery. And isn't it true that that lawyers will sometimes hire consultants to kind of shape the jury to look the way they want it to look, the jurors, and that for her to say what she said, I'm just guessing here, help me out here, she would have to understand the makeup of the juror to understand that she could get away with making that statement, that it could possibly resonate. Right. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right on that. That is what they do. They hire consultants to do background checks on the jury pool to find out who would be more leaning towards a particular type of verdict. So that is definitely something that goes into play all the time.
All right.
I'd also say that they didn't want anybody black on that juror. I've been called for jury duty as well, and I've never gotten picked. And it could be anything. It could be what somebody's wearing, how they look, their presentation. So there's really no reason to be dismissed as a possible juror. There was no fair or speedy trial. I mean, the date that she said was February. I don't think they even got arrested until like May or June, and that was around the time that George Floyd had happened. So that was there was nothing speedy about it. And there's video, so you can't say, well, we didn't know what they look like. So it's just disgusting, very disgusting.
Wow.
And as a minister, I couldn't have been in that courtroom. I would have had they would have had to get the bailiff on me, because that I just couldn't. I couldn't sit there and just. have her say
Now,
that.
you all, Real Aaron Collins, I want to hear from you, and we got Lisa Jackson here. I want to hear from her as well. I want to thank Tawana for putting that link in there, because that was God sent, because that allowed me to pull it through my system. Did everyone hear the audio of the mother, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, speaking her how she felt about the bullshit that they did in that court today? Could everybody hear that audio? Real Aaron Collins, what do you want to say, brother?
Hey, salute everyone, salute Info Man. Yeah, it's very disgusting. I'm like, my thing is this. Okay, so what? Even if he did dirty toenail, if he did have dirty toenails, is it a crime to have dirty toenails? And what does that have to do with him being murdered in the street like some animal? That has nothing to do with it. But then again, this is them showing us their true nature anyway. Because isn't that what the jury and the prosecutors did to Byron De La Beckwith after he murdered Medgar Evers? I mean, they did that right in front of his widow. Merle Evers saw them shaking hands with Byron De La Beckwith. So it's really no surprise how they do that. They do have, like you said, Info Man, they have a good old boys network and their own code. They have the complexion for protection, their own code. They have an entire system stacked in their favor, which they design for their benefit. And the playing field has never been level, especially when it comes to doling out justice. They have always moved the goalposts, and they have always had an uneven playing field. So, but yes, she does need to be reprimanded for that. Because I mean, even her own peers, white people, even they're shocked at what she said. So this is no surprise.
All right. Let me remind everybody of the laws. This is why they totally violated the rights of Ahmaud Arbery, because I'm going to read this law again. This is Georgia's law. The grounds for arrest, a private person may arrest a offender if the offense is committed in his or her presence or within the immediate knowledge if the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape. A private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds. This is where they screwed up at. Those yahoos didn't catch him in the act of coming out of the house. They didn't catch him in the presence of committing whatever crime they thought that he was doing. That's where they screwed up. They went on this. They went on the gossip in the neighborhood that there was break-ins. Now, I'm not saying that there probably were things happening in the neighborhood, but because they went on that notion, they assumed, just like the prosecution said today, oh, it's a black man, so he had to be the one doing it. And they never have proven that the one black male figure that was on video, that it was actually him. I didn't hear them say anything about that in court, that was actually him. So everything that they did was a complete violation. And then the question again, because they let Kyle Rittenhouse get off for defending himself, when did Ahmaud Arbery have the right to defend himself against a fool's closing him in like he was an animal or something? I'll stop there. I want to hear from Lisa Jackson. And everybody on the panel that wants to add more to the content, to what we're talking about tonight. Go ahead.
Okay, well, hello, shalom to all.
Shalom to you too, sister.
Okay, so what I will say is that I'm from New York, all right? So I did go to John Jay College. I did learn a little bit. Shalom to UK money. This is what I will say.
Sister.
Even though this is what they tried to use, when that young man was running, he was jogging.
Yeah, he was jogging. That's right.
He didn't have nothing in his hand to say that he stole anything. That's number one. So, citizens arrest. We have to be careful when we use the term citizens arrest. Citizens arrest normally means that I seen, such and such in your hand, that you ran into this place in this spot, and you know what I'm saying, and you came out with this stuff, and we detained you because you have the items in your hand that didn't belong to you. That, you know what I'm saying? But that's still a slippery slope.
It's not something you really want to use. But what I will say is this. We have to understand and be careful and still understand that this country itself was stolen.
Right.
And the criminals that stole the country make the laws.
Right. And they make the laws to benefit them.
Right. And we have to look at that, you know what I'm saying, with a broad scope as well as a narrow scope. Because at the end of the day, I fell for this woman. I fell for this man. And truth be told is that, you know something, if they're going to try to use a citizen arrest, the boy looked like he had on, the young man, it's not a boy, the young man looked like he had on shorts. He didn't have nothing in his hand. He didn't steal anything.
Right.
There
So
was
even
nothing stolen.
right. He didn't have, I said that before.
Right.
I've been
He
saying
didn't
and saying
have
that.
no
He had no
items in his
TV.
hand.
What items that
Nothing.
they
Nothing
they
in his
didn't find
hand.
any evidence that he stole anything out of any of
That
those
he stole
properties.
anything. They had no right to do what they did. And again, I will say this again, and I will keep repeating it. We have to be careful because we have to understand that these people, these same very people wrote the laws. Now, I'm going to say this. I knew Kyle Rittenhouse was going to get off. But these motor jokers, they're not going to get off. But it's the time that they get. How much time you going to give them? Again, Kyle Rittenhouse, unfortunately, ate his own. Even though he was going out there intentionally to look for one of us.
Right. You know
He
what,
was going
sister?
out there intentionally to look for one of us, but he ate his own.
Right.
All praise to the Most High.
Right. Check this
And
out.
I hate to say it, but he ate his own. Now,
Right, but let me say this though, sister. Yeah, I had mentioned that in my other video that it was a white on white crime situation. But the one thing that got let out, that judge didn't let a lot of evidence come in because Kyle Rittenhouse. Wait a minute.
You think that he got off on
Let
all
me
of that?
let me make this statement though. So this is a very important statement I'm about to make. What got left out of that trial is that Kyle Rittenhouse was sticking his gun, pointing his gun at people. He pointed his gun at a couple of black young men out there that night. See, they didn't want to bring that into that case about how he was flashing his gun at two black cats, and then he wanted to act like he was doing some medical work, and they were like, "Wait a minute, you just pointed your damn gun at us."
Yes, and you're absolutely right. But the other thing that nobody's looking at, federal law.
Federal law.
That young man was never supposed to cross those lines federally.
Right.
So now we have to look at and see. We have to hope and see what federally they're going to do. Personally, for me, I don't care what they're going to do or what not they're going to do. Federally, he was never supposed to cross those lines at all. So you're right. The judge suppressed a lot of things that could have held him accountable. But remember what I just said to you. That judge, look at him. We could put a white sheet on him. We could have put a white sheet on him and cut the eyes out. We didn't even need to do that. He just looked like the white sheet with the eyes cut out.
They don't have to wear sheets anymore. Yeah, they don't have to wear the sheets. They can just wear the suits and they can wear the robe of a judge.
Right, and they wear the robe. Exactly.
Tell the truth.
If you look at that judge,
They trade the sheets in for police uniforms. That's what they trade the sheets in for.
And the judge robe. Exactly.
Right, just like in Los Angeles, where real Aaron Collins is at, we know that in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is filled with white supremacist and white nationalist groups, as well as that police department out there, the LAPD. all of that. They're filled with these type of characters. And then you wonder why, when it comes to black males and black women, we're on the bad side of things, because the people out there that's supposed to be policing, they already carry with them these various racial views. Now you got Kyle running around on media talking about, oh, I support BLM, I support Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff. And then at the same time, this kind of dirtying up of our character, dirtying it. This is what they do. And let me just say this to you, sisters and brothers. I'm not surprised by anything that I'm seeing, but I had to speak on this because, of course, nobody in mainstream or junk stream media is going to give you this kind of perspective. They're just going to roll with the bullshit that went down. Let me see. K Money, you want to add anything as well as back to the basics before I put a crescendo on this tonight?
Yes, what I want people to realize is this. From day one, they was never talking about citizens arrest. From day one, they was never talking about it. They was talking about self-defense, that Ahmad was coming after him. But we see Ahmad has been running for his life for 5 minutes. Then finally he had to make a choice. The gun's pointing at him, either get shot in the back or fight. That brother fought for his life.
That's right.
And lost. Now these men need to pay. And Brunswick, let me tell you, I know a lot of people in Brunswick. They better come up with a right verdict.
Let me say peace to D-Tub in the house. What's going on, D-Tub? D-Tub is a mod, I believe, over in Jason Black's next to the wood. D-Tubman, thank you for coming over and supporting the channel and what have you. Let me get the lady in here and hear her great words tonight. Man, glad to have I'm glad to have everybody on the panel. I want to hear your words, sister. You just came up on the panel. I want to hear what your perspective.
Yeah, so for me, I am more concerned with the jury deliberations and how that's going to turn out. I have served on a jury. I've actually served as foreman before, and it was not a pleasant experience. For those who haven't been on a jury before, when you go back there in deliberations, it's just you and your fellow jurors. There's no one supervising, watching, listening. The judge tells you, you can't bring prejudice into this. You can't bring discrimination into this. They go over all of that when they're giving you the rules. But that doesn't mean that people don't bring that to the table. On the jury I sat in, it was for among individual. It was a male, and it was for possession of a firearm for a felon, which you couldn't have. There was a couple of us that were initially on the not guilty side. Then it was just me and another woman. But one started talking about Hmong gangbangers and just making derogatory terms, which offended one of the Hmong jurors. And it just hell broke loose. And then, people were like, well, I don't get paid for this, so I'll vote however. I mean, it was just not a fun experience. And understanding that you can have jurors that are really not impartial, that are really biased, and people were bringing in things that weren't related to the case. They're like, look, if we just need to vote this way, I need to get home to my babies. I'm a nursing mom. I'll just vote this way. And I'm like, that's not the reason to throw your vote. Like, you need to be looking at this. Like, I stand firm with my not guilty. You all think he's guilty. We're just a hung jury. And eventually it came down to us telling the judge multiple times we were at an impasse. And then finally, when I said people are going to throw their votes, then the judge was finally like, okay, this is a hung jury. This is what happens. So this is why when I paid attention to the jury selection, and I was like, wow. And the judge had even made a comment about the jury selection looking prejudicial, but then came up with it fits within X, Y, and Z, statute, so we're going to keep it. But then the prosecution didn't even challenge it, which is a concern to me when you don't have prosecution or attorneys that look like us who understand how that can impact a trial. That's what concerns me, is that did they really even pay attention to it? Do they really even get it? Did they really understand how that dirty toenail comment could impact and sway the jurors? And that's where my concern comes in about what's going to happen when they go back there. And is that going to be on their minds? And will they bring prejudice to the table? Because I know they can, and I've seen it done.
We can guarantee it from experience, from history, that they're going to bring all of their biases and prejudices and all their stereotypes of how they see black males, the whole 9 yard, because I believe that those idiots, McMichaels, they are a representation of how some in that community probably view black people, even though it was said in court by the owner of the property that there was even a white couple that was walking up in there. Why didn't nobody run the white couple down? Right? Why is it that it just happens to be Aubry, who had nothing in his possession when they ran up on him like that and tried to corner him like that while he's jogging down the street? See, that's another thing that they're saying in the court that I don't like. They keep saying he was running. And when the defense team and everyone says he's running, that in itself gives this notion that, oh, he was running because he did something wrong. No, he was jogging. And of course, if you got somebody creeping up on you, you're going to speed up. Sure. And then you're going to be in a defense mode to say, what is this person doing running up on me? Just like, that's why I brought up Trayvon Martin. A grown ass man comes creeping up on him. He's trying to defend himself. Wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying here, sister. A grown ass man creeps up on him.
He's jogging.
Right. But I'm bringing the comparison because Trayvon Martin had a grown ass man following him. He was a minor or a teenager. Exactly. He was fighting a man that was following him. That's creepy. A man that was told to stand down by the police dispatcher. And then they flipped it around after Zinnemann had the gun and killed him and said, oh, Zinnemann had the right to defend himself and stand his ground with a gun. And then we got Kyle, who stood his ground, killed 2 people. He's able to get off, and Trayvon Martin doesn't get any justice in his death. And now we have Ahmaud Arbery, who is now being surrounded and shot 3 times by a weapon. And now he's made out to be as a monster.
Absolutely right.
That's all I wanted to say. It's crazy to me.
No, but you're absolutely right. But at the end of the day, just like I said, you know what? We are dealing with criminals that wrote the laws from the beginning.
Yeah.
They are criminals. They wrote the laws. The Joe Bidens, all of them, they are guilty of all of this. Well,
of course, they wrote
they're
obviously, the way the country was formed, if you're in a position of power, you're gonna write I never call them founding fathers. I just call them wig wearing. They're gonna write the laws to benefit them,
benefit themselves.
Right. Yeah, and so we have to
not blind.
Right. We have to recognize that and just realize that that's a reality. But at the same time, remember the point that I was trying to make. Just hear me out here. Unless a black person has money and resources to get the best defense team or prosecution, whatever the money buys, like OJ, that's why I kept bringing OJ up, then you have a better chance of winning your case when you're alive and you've got money. But not 9 and 10 times, we don't get any attention brought to our death unless we were killed in the way Aubry. Then we get the attorney Crumps and all the other people who come out of the woodwork to support the family and support our situation when we're no longer here. And it seems to me, I'm going to bring this up too. It seems like black men have to die in this country before we're celebrated.
Yes. I can't take no more of it. I'm just going to be honest.
I'm just
take no more of it.
It's
the truth though.
It's just the truth. There's no one rallies around who we are as men until we end up dead in a situation with a cop. And then that's when people want to march and rally and chant our name. Other than that, there's no celebration.
I don't want to march no more.
Yeah, I'm sick of that stuff too.
I just want you to take me to a range and show me what I need to do.
That's exactly it.
I don't want to march no more. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna say my piece right here, and I'm gonna let this one go. I'm done. I'm done. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I'm truly hurt. I'm hurt. Watch a young man get killed down there in Memphis. Why? Why? Because some of us is jealous. See, some of us got to take some of us on. You know, it's just not just Ahmad. This thing of ours, this jealousy thing, this, I'm just done. I'm done.
Right.
And I'm sick of us.
Yeah, I think
you know
we
what?
have
this
to.
Shit is really hurting
we have
me.
to hold. Hang on, sister. Hang on.
Everybody responsible when it comes to us dying.
I agree.
You know
I
what
think
I'm
that we have to. Hang on, sister. Hang on. Because I have a structure to my program.
Sorry.
I agree and feel your emotions about this. And that's what I was saying yesterday on my program, just like you, that we do have to hold each other accountable for the BS when it comes to us harming each other. I said it yesterday. We can point the finger at what white people have done to us, but what about the things that we are doing to each other that are harmful? And we not only do it physically with taking each other's life, but we also do harm to each other right here on YouTube, the way people talk about one another, dox one another, and do crazy stuff towards each other, bringing all that poison from the community that you live in onto these platforms, when these platforms should be used for us to be able to improve ourselves and better ourselves and develop sisterhood and brotherhood and community, and also a place for us to vent some of our frustration. I feel how you feel, sister. But it's up to us as individuals to do what we can in our individual communities to make these changes so that we can come together collectively. But we are responsible for what we are supposed to do to hold ourselves accountable and those in our community accountable when they are doing something completely wrong. It's easy for us to rally around Brother Arbery because we see it as the white folks took him out, which they did. But we should show the same anger and passion when we are doing the same horrible things to each other, like what happened to young Dolph. Should have never happened whatsoever. And so I feel what you're saying, and I appreciate your thoughts tonight. What I want to do is let everybody give their last thoughts because I'm going to have to close this out. It's getting late for everybody. So back to the basics. Would you like to give your closing statements?
Yes, I do have a few closing statements. First of all, thank you always for letting me speak on your platform. This was a hard one.
Yeah, it is.
Because at the end of the day, Aubry Ahmad, he didn't commit a crime. There was no guilty act. There was no guilty mind. None of those things were happening. And there was no damage of person or property. So first of all, a crime never fucking happened. Excuse me. So just for them to do whatever, the 911 call and all that, it was just all, and again, just like you stated, he was jogging. And these lawyers, they know that language matters. As soon as you say someone was running, oh, well, they must have done something wrong. So that already starts to create a narrative that he did something. He was running. And if you have two cars coming up on you, hell yeah, I'm going to speed up. I'm going to probably be sprinting. And he's in a fight or flight. You got guys coming out here with guns. He didn't have a chance. And as far as his mother, what was disturbing about her statement was that she said she was afraid. And that just really, really angered me. I just pray that, she will get justice out of this, and that she will have a sense of peace of mind or comfort, because that really did make me upset. I couldn't imagine losing a child. I have a younger brother about Ahmaud's age, so and I know how I feel about that. So it's just a terrible situation, very, very bad.
Yeah.
And as far as the laws, this will be my final statement. The same people who make these laws, they don't even follow their laws. But yet these people are so civilized. So yeah, they make the laws, but they don't follow the law, because the one thing in criminal justice, the law is supposed to be swift, sure, and uniform, meaning it's supposed to apply to everybody the same. So they don't even hold up their own laws. And
let me say thank you. Thank you for what you just said. I appreciate that. Back to the basics. You always have come upstairs and talked and gave great commentary and been a very big supporter of the program, and I appreciate that. I want to say to Kim Savvy, $5 Bling Implorium. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, sister.
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for coming over tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming over tonight. Let me go over to K Money and get her thoughts. And K Money, this might be the first time, I gotta be honest, that you've been on a panel. And I haven't done panels. I kind of stopped doing panels, and then I started doing them now because I think my panels have gotten better because I have great folks like yourselves who come up here and we're able to have a conversation and not argue with each other. Right. Can get emotional sometimes, but we still keep it respectful. But give us your beautiful closing remarks for the night.
I just want to thank you for doing this, Information Man. I can't even speak on this on my platform because I've been there since day one, and it's really touching my heart what I'm seeing. I can't even watch the trial, okay, because I know what the defense is going to do. But I want y'all to realize something. We have to come together. We have to stop fighting against each other because they're coming together, believe it or not. Okay, they're together. We're not. We have to get together because what happened to that brother? Yes, he was jogging. He jogs. I know he jogs all the time. He had to run for his life, y'all, and fight for his life, and he lost. But it's not going to be in vain. They're exposing what Brunswick is about right now. Okay, that's what they're doing.
Yes, they should. It should be exposed. Has to be exposed. Yes.
The Most High is exposing a lot this year, if you notice. But I just want to say thank you. And I never come up on panels, but this is close to my heart.
Well, I would like you to come up when there's a topic that you feel you want to speak to, because over here, I try to run a tight situation where I allow people to express themselves, but I don't like it to get goofy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I like people to come away knowing that, hey, I can come over here. It's a safe place. We can speak our mind, and we can be disagreeable with each other about certain points, but nobody walks away feeling like they didn't get heard and that they were completely disrespected. Depending on the topic, some topics are more emotional than others. So I thank you for coming upstairs with me. I want to give you a clap. And don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger, sister.
I'm back working now, so it's hard for me to get on social media. But
all right.
I was listening to you tonight, my brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for being here. Let me go over to Real Aaron Collins. Can you give us your concluding statements for tonight?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to K Money also, and back to the basics. I actually piggybacking off what Back to the Basics said. Just listen to that sister. That made me hotter than fish grease, because the way this country is, it's like these folks are literally right before our eyes showing us their nature. But let's see if what happens, what it plays out, what the prosecuting attorney said. If what you say in court can be held against you, or the fact that she's talking about his toenails, let's hold that against her. And also let's hold the fact that other fellow said no black pastors are allowed, literally making a racist statement like right in front of us. So let's see how that plays out, because they're actually on record saying it. We heard it. So we're gonna see. And for McMichael's, I mean, it's basically they were just out hunting. So I mean, he didn't have anything in his hand, they literally lied on the police report and said that he was stealing something, but there was no proof that he stole anything. It's not against the law to look at something. Maybe he didn't. No. Maybe he didn't exercise proper judgment when he went inside the site. But still, all he was just basically being a looky-loo like any one of us would do.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I appreciate coming up on the panels, Info Man. That they're always supercharged. You always learn something with your panels, and I like the group of people, my peers that's coming on here with us, and it's a real family atmosphere.
All right, brother. I wasn't sure whether I was going to do live. I was going to upload this as a pre-produced video and just speak my mind about it. But then I think I did the right thing. It's late now. A lot of people are sleeping, chilling, getting ready for work, or just chilling for these things taking day coming up. But I'm glad I did go live anyway, because I think it was great to hear what people in this community have to say about what's going on. Because like I said before, brother, the news, the alphabet channels are not going to give you this kind of real, raw conversation on their programs because they worried about their sponsors and shit like that. So what I'm going to do, let me go over to Sister Lisa Jackson. Give us your concluding word, sister, for tonight.
Well, I want to thank you, and I really adore your channel. It's a
Thank
great
you.
channel.
I appreciate
And
that a lot.
I want to say to you, yes, I became emotional, and it's not anything against anyone or anything. What I am saying to everyone is that we are losing our warriors. Our warriors. And these are the people, him himself could have, he did try to fight back. He just couldn't win against the gunpowder. I understand that. And I'm, and I'm welled up because, it's just not just him. We're seeing this too much. And I'm asking Generation X, please start saying something to our babies and just start saying something to them. I personally don't even know how to fight back. But what I am saying to it is a channel like your channel, your perspective, and also your oh my goodness.
Speak your mind, sister.
What you do for a living, helps.
Yeah,
and I gotta thank you. I gotta thank you because literally, I gotta tell you, I am welled up.
I hear you, sister.
So
it's tough.
Salute to you, brother. Salute. It's hard for me. It's hard. I don't want to see none of us die no more. I'm tired of it. Yeah. Salute to you, and salute, and I will bang your channel off of anything because I got to be honest with you. When you come on, you just go at it and you do your thing. And thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
I try my best. It gets difficult. I actually don't like having to talk about these type of topics. And I know these kind of topics are a little bit more catch people's attention. I don't really like them because it always involve one of us not being here anymore, right? We're not here anymore. Something terrible happened to us. But the first step in therapy to solve problems and come to solutions is we got to be able to recognize what the problems are, talk about them, assess them, and then come to solutions, how we're going to approach. And that's why I said it all starts with all of us who have this sort of mindset to say we're tired of what's happening. We want to change what's happening. And then you have to bring that spirit to the individual community and environment that you live in with the way you treat people and how you deal. And I always tell people too, You know, if there's an organization in your community that you can either donate to or get involved or volunteer your time if you have time, do so. That's why I like brother George Makem and what he's doing with the Urban Nerds Worldwide. We got Q Butter in New York, what he's doing with his educational institute with the young men and ladies there. These are examples that there are black men and women who are doing things in the community. Unfortunately, they don't always go recognized. And let me say this might be a little bit of a poke at somebody that everybody knows is well known, but why are we donating money to somebody who keeps telling you they're going to open up some school and they ain't doing shit with the money, but taking the money? Why not give the money to people?
You don't even have to tell me.
Why not give the money to people who actually have a running program that look like you, that actually have a program like Q Butter and others? Give them the money and donations, not somebody that's keep leading you on into bull crap. I'll stop right there. And I want to say thank you, Sister Lisa Jackson.
Brother, I thank you for, you know what I'm saying, for putting the truth out there. And I'm going to say thank you and thank you and thank you again. Because at the end of the day, you know what? I don't want to cry over, you know, I'm tired of crying over black men dying. I'm tired of it. Especially the ones that didn't even get a chance. So, you know what? Thank you, sir. Thank you. I yield the floor.
I think, hey, sister, I give you a clap out of respect. You're welcome here all the time. Any topic that catches your attention, come on upstairs. I'm going to be doing my program a little bit like this more often, where I give my opening commentary about issues and then I'll have panels. It just depends on the situation, the topics, the issues. Long as the panels can be run in a way that everybody's heard and can be feel that they're respected. However, like I said before, there are going to be certain topics like the one I did about R. Kelly that's going to be more emotional and people are going to be more charged up. So we'll handle it as best we can. Let me go over to Lady Justice. If I'm saying that last name correct, sister, I always feel like I'm saying it incorrect.
No, it's Lady Justice.
Okay, I just want to be respectful.
I just spell it different just because I'm weird. So,
okay.
So I have 2 points I will make. The first is just echoing the same sentiment we've heard multiple times, is that we really have to start embracing us and loving us. And we need to love our community the way, you know, the Hmong community loves the Hmong community, the Chinese community loves the Chinese, the Mexican community loves the Mexican community, the white community loves the white community. We really need to start embracing ourselves and each other that way. And we need to start creating communities where the Ahmads of the world can jog down their own streets of a Black community and feel safe, where the neighbors are going to look out for each other and not look at people like criminals. I think that's one of the first things we really need to get to, whether that takes a person doing therapy, whether that takes a person volunteering more in Black communities. We have to find a way of loving ourselves and coming together. The next point I'm going to make, we've had 4 major trials this year. We've had the Chauvin trial, we've had the R. Kelly trial, the Rittenhouse, the McMichaels now, and then we're moving now into the Kim Potter, the cop who pulled out her gun, quote unquote. Dante right here in Minnesota. And what I would say is the one thing that's changed my mind this year is my feelings about juries. People used to ask me, well, would you recommend being on a jury? And I'd say no. But I think we need more people like me who can hold firm, who can really try to be impartial, listen to the facts and say something is off. I need each one of the viewers, yourself, to really take jury duty seriously. That was the one thing I noticed when I was in the voir dire selection, how many Black people really tried to get out of sitting jury duty. I would say try to build up a nest egg, 1 to 2 months of income in case your job doesn't pay for you while you're on jury duty. and really take that civic responsibility seriously, because we need more people like us to make this justice system fair, especially if we get to sit on the trials. So I would really encourage everyone to save, to take it seriously, and actually consider sitting on a jury and answering questions truthfully, and work on being objective and impartial so that you can make fair decisions and give people opportunities for justice that we don't currently get today.
I agree with you. I think one of the reasons why these juries are the way they are is because not only because of all the inherent institutionalized racism that we've had over the years, and still in some ways still have, we do have a situation where we'll have black people in particular, and other people do the same thing as well, don't want to be on a jury. And you got to look at it this way. Depending on what kind of case it is, you could make the difference. But if you're not on that jury to make that difference, to be able to have the overall perspective, then you're going to leave it in the hands of people who may bring their biases. And that biases might just be one-sided bias. But, you know, I was listening for a quick moment today. The brother by the name, he's got a big channel, Lead Attorney. And he said on his program today, while I was listening in for a short moment, that he said in court cases like this, people lie all the time. And he said jurors as well are doing all type of goofy stuff with their decision making. It's like you said, so none of it is foolproof. But if we're not involved as a people in making some of these decisions on these juries, then it's going to keep being the way it is. And I know that some people are like, hey, I don't want to be on there because that's going to take time out of my life. They're not paying me what I need to make. There's a whole host of reasons why people don't want to be on there. I think Real Aaron Collins, or someone said earlier that when he tried to get on a jury, they got rid of him. Someone said that they got eliminated. Like, they do tend to look at us because we tend to stick out like raisins and Raisin Bran cereal. When you eat it to the bottom and you just have milk and there go a couple of raisins. That's how black people look in every walk of life that we're in, school, jurors, everywhere. But it still doesn't mean that we should stop having an impact like everybody else is impacting these systems as well. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight with a clap. Thank you. Sister Lisa Jackson, Lady Justice. I think Back to the Basics. And who else do I have? And Real Aaron Collins is still up here too. Thank you for being here. You all have a great night. Like I said, who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? If something breaks in the news, some story, something that we can assess and analyze, I'll go live tomorrow. We'll just see how things are having. I got the time. And I appreciate everybody in that chat room that's come through. DOD, Black Votron, Greg Harris, Chris CC's, Nate A has come in the house, K Money, Spoken Word, Earl Owens, the Queen, Judah the Queen, who came in. I think I said that name right. Let me see who we have up here. That's so, I believe the young lady's name. Thank you all for coming over. I'm going to take center stage here and just close out. I appreciate everybody who came in tonight. There it is right there. Urban Nerds Worldwide. That's the organization that my man, George Makem runs. It's a nonprofit. You can donate $2, $3, $4, $5. You get a tax write-off. He is doing the work. He actually shows you what he's doing with youth. He ain't pretending. He's not wasting. He's not taking money and investing it in bandit buildings. No, he's actually got a program up and running just like Q Butter, and your money will really go somewhere, and it's a real nonprofit status, so you get a real tax write-off when you support the Urban Nerds Worldwide. So I just want to let everybody know about that. I appreciate everybody's time tonight as I go in here and put up the rest of my little doodads here and stuff like that. I appreciate everybody's support tonight. It's late at night, so a smaller crowd. But look, sometimes you just got to go live and you got to say things the way they are. You got to speak on it. I didn't want to wait till tomorrow to do this or the weekend to do this. It had to be spoken on tonight because this shit happened today. And for some of you, it's already the next day. I'm in the West Coast, so it's still day here or nighttime here, but it's not that late in the evening. Everybody, once again, I got to give you a clap. Appreciate you again. And then you know how I do it over here. Let's get on out of here. Peace to everybody out there once more. There we go.
To see they go as far as describing
that is the mother speaking again.
Long and dirty. Despite, like I said earlier, that my son had a huge
I gotta hear this again.
Chest where he was shot with that shotgun. Very disrespectful.
Why do you think they're doing that?
I think that the defense is doing that because they know they don't have the proper evidence to get a conviction. So they're actually going to any measures to get a conviction, which is not there for them.
Peace, everybody.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Tell the truth.
Lately it's looking like everything perfect. Out the mud with it, I put the work in. You can find me where that turf is. Pin precision like a surgeon. Bad ones used to curve me. Showing up to the show when the curve split. She know that I'm worth it, I'm finna go up, I'm aerial. I got the hit stash, got a bracelet for impact. Real tricky, quick to flip a pretty penny to a thick stack. Quick stack, think fast and I talk real. I give a fuck about how they feel. Me and Zay just dropped the propane and it sounded like mass appeal. For my dog, I'ma ride to the wheels kill. Got his hand on the hammer, so keep it legit. I've been the man with the blueprint, I won't stop till I own every brick. I used to lay out in the line just to feel the world spin on its axis. Now I got the access and the last laugh, got it off of the passion. I keep it 100 on the dash now that we got our some traction. Slick talker, I'm a showstopper, you are not solid. Tread cautious, couldn't go a mile in my toe boxes. Stunning shade with the Visine, light it up to bring the vibe in. Lime tint, color spot beam on me, I'm a star every night lit, ultraviolet. Hey, I told her make sure that phone is on silent so we know what the vibe is. Take a look at my iris, I think she know that I'm high risk. I never know what the time is, I never know when my mind went. Hey,
tell the truth.
I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that I used to toss a coin in the waterfalls in the wishing well. Now I get plenty coin, bitch, I'm self-made. You ain't gotta wish me well.
J East Music, much love from you from the Netherlands. Thank you for coming through. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, support the channel. I appreciate that for coming through. J East Music.
I move on the top, that shit high risk. I never know where my mind went. Hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Like it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that, hey, I got a lot on my plate, I got got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. Yeah. Look, it's a lot on my mind, and I got an eye on the prize, and I'ma make sure that we straight. I'ma make sure that.
Tell the truth.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this particular video. I really appreciate it. And like I said, anything that comes up, I'm bound to go live at any time this week. So be on the lookout for it. And everybody, I put in the community tab a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse and Trayvon Martin. And I want you to look at that and give your opinion about the assessment of that. I brought up Trayvon Martin's name quite a bit tonight because the young man was killed by George Zimmerman and never given the benefit of defending himself as well with a man who had a gun, who was following him, a grown-ass man. With that said, everybody, have a good night. And peace to you.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.
Tell the truth.
You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel.